And now we've got to check in with the right-wing commentator Charlie Kirk because he just dropped a take that I totally disagree with and actually think is kind of woke in a way.
Let me be very clear, guys. If you do not get 100% turnout from your own house, you're doing it wrong. If you are a parent that has 18 or 19-year-old kids, you got to get them out to vote. And by the way, if you are paying your 18, 19, or 20-year-old kids tuition and they go vote for Kamala Harris, you should tell them you guys could pay for your own college. If you're going to go vote for Kamala Harris and our house here is working our tail off and we're going into debt to help you go through college, you guys can pay for your own college.
Sorry, but this is right-wing woke. This is just the other side of the coin, the Republican version of the blue-haired progressives who cut off their grandparents because they voted for Trump. It's not okay to withdraw support or punish your family members just because they disagree with you politically. And also, their vote doesn't matter. It's one vote in a country of 330 million people. And even if you think they're misguided or dumb because of the way they vote, they're young. It doesn't capture all of who they are as a person or mean they're terrible or have horrible values. It just means that in your view, they're misguided politically and they might grow out of it and grow up. But probably not if you punish them and try to control them. That's actually a great way to send them even further into a left-wing spiral. I mean, this idea that you should be cutting off and punishing your family members if they disagree with you on politics is insane. And it is not pro-family in any sense. Now, when I pointed this out on Twitter, I got a lot of pushback, essentially making a couple different points. One of which was, kids should be paying for their college anyway. Well, to that, I would just say, that's an entirely separate point. Maybe that's true, maybe that's not, but the scenario that Charlie Kirk is discussing here is very clearly one where you have decided to support their college education, and then you withdraw that support because of their voting decisions. That's not a good reason to decide to withdraw support. Now, if you decide that that's not what you can do financially, or you don't want to fund a useless degree or a woke college or whatever, I'm not judging that decision. I'm simply saying you should not be punishing your 18-year-old child by taking away their opportunity and chance of pursuing the career they want because they're dumb and vote a way you didn't agree with. That is horribly close-minded and vindictive and not loving or pro-family. The other thing people were saying in my replies is, well, colleges are so woke and so the degrees are so useless, you shouldn't be funding them anyway. And again, that's just kind of a non sequitur, because the scenario that Charlie Kirk describes here is one where you've evaluated your kid's college education and decided that it is worth it. If you reach a different conclusion with politics not as part of it, I'm not telling you that's wrong, to be clear. I'm just saying that you shouldn't be extracting ideological punishment onto your young adult children because you're dissatisfied with the way they chose to vote at the polling place. That's just stupid to me. Say that your kid is studying to be pre-med and wants to go be a pediatrician and help heal sick kids and earn money and have a successful life and take care of a family while making the world a better place. You should defund that. You should withdraw support and make them either bury themselves in debt or have to drop out just because they had a totally inconsequential decision politically that you disagree with. That is extremely close-minded and vindictive. And it's this idea, right, that was so common in woke circles, that the politics is the personal, that your political values determine all of who you are as a person, and that if you have the wrong think, you are an evil, bad person. That is now being embodied by some figures on the right, like Charlie Kirk, and I totally disagree with it. I find it incredibly close-minded and vindictive, and I think it's only going to work out in the opposite of the way that they hope. When you push people away or you punish them for disagreeing with you, they're often going to go further into resistance, right? That's a classic way that teenagers and young adults operate with their parents. However, if you keep the door open and you just talk with them and hear them out and maybe explain why you feel differently, often they change in their views over time when they leave college and they start paying taxes and they go out into the real world. But if you cut them off and punish them and push them away because of their youthful naivete, then that's not going to happen. they're probably not going to change their views. So even if you're making politics your be-all and end-all of your family relationships, which I don't support and don't think you should be doing, this still isn't even good just as a tactic, as a strategy. It is low IQ, right-wing rage bait that honestly reminds me of what woke people are like. And I'm very concerned by the rise in these kinds of attitudes by some, not all, but by some figures on the right, like the Charlie Kirks of the world. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me or do you agree with Charlie? Let me know in the comments. I do want to hear from you, even if you have a different opinion. I won't stop supporting you.